Para malabanan ang COVID-19, ang kailangan natin ay tama at totoong impormasyon, hindi fake news. Huwag ka agad maniniwala sa nababasa at naririnig. Ang pagkalat ng mga maling paniniwala tungkol sa COVID-19 ay nagdudulot ng panik, takot at maling desisyon. Laging i-double check kung saan nanggaling ang nabasa o narinig. Maging mapanuri at i-share lamang ang tamang impormasyon. Sa wastong pag-iingat, ang virus hindi kakalat. COVID-19, kayang-kaya nating tapusin.
Hi everyone, it's Nicole Laurel Asensio, inviting you all to watch Forward, a self-care and mental health program every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Edge TV on Facebook Live. This is hosted by DJ Raymond and Monique. Together, let's take that first step forward towards better mental health. Take care, everyone.
Kaibigan, huwag ka na munang lumabas ng inyong bahay, maliban na lang kung bibili ng pagkain o may emergency. Tandaan ang mga sumusunod. Kung kailangang lumabas ng bahay, magsuot ng mask. Siguruhing may 1 metro ang layo sa ibang tao. Magdala lagi ng alcohol o alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Huwag hawakan ang iyong mukha. Sa wastong pag-iingat, ang virus hindi kakalat. COVID-19, kayang-kaya nating tapusin.
Hi everyone, it's Nicole Laurel Asensio, inviting you all to watch Forward, a self-care and mental health program every Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Edge TV on Facebook Live. This is hosted by DJ Raymond and Monique. Together, let's take that first step forward towards better mental health. Take care, everyone.
All right, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Good evening to my co-host. Hello.
Good
Let me
evening,
just-
DJ Raymond and everyone.
Everyone. Yep, it's well, I believe the rain somehow stopped in my place, but it's been rainy, so rainy, so wet the past week, no, or more. So, kumusta
Parang
dyan,
2
Monique,
weeks
in
na.
your place? In your place, kumusta dyan?
Yeah, non-stop rain, very unforgiving rain, except for I think yesterday we had a bit of sunshine.
Yeah, dito naman only now it stopped. So thank God
Okay.
because we're on the Philippines, whenever it's cloudy, it really affects our internet. So I hope I don't mess it up with my words. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning in, and we have another very exciting and meaningful topic ngayong gabi, and a very special guest, syempre. Very
Yes.
special, especially
Extra
to me.
special to me. Yes.
Yes, okay. Kasi recently, nag-celebrate ng birthday, yung dad niya. So, we're going to talk about, you've seen in the information, guys. So, ipasok na natin i-play na natin yung introduction video ng
Alright.
ating special guest. No? Okay, here we go. Good evening, Sir Roy Señeres Jr. Welcome.
Hi. Good
Before,
evening, DJ Raymond, of course, my wife Monique, the co-host. Thank you, Monique and DJ Raymond for having me over. Tsaka dun sa intro, medyo uh, emotional. Thank you.
Intro pa lang.
sorry,
Tsaka,
intro pala, medyo ano na.
tsaka sa lahat ng nanonood ng Forward Show, magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. Good evening
Yes,
from Manila.
batiin natin si Jenik at saka si Bong. Yan, sila yung mga nanonood. Oh, somebody's from Puerto Galera pa pala. Si Bong Husi.
Oh,
Okay?
yes.
Ah,
Yes.
Si
Ito nga,
Bong Husi.
okay lang, i-flash ko na yung kanyang comment. Good evening,
Ah,
it's raining here too. Watching from Puerto Galera pala.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Chairman
Hello.
Bong Husi
Oh, okay.
is our chairman ng OFW Family Club
Ah,
Cyprus
wow.
chapter. And thank you, Chairman, sa inyong subaybay ng programa. Shout out sa inyo
Mhm.
dyan sa Puerto Galera, sa iyo, tsaka sa lahat ng mga kasama mo dyan.
Wow, nasa paradise sila. Okay, Jenik din. Yeah, good evening. Okay, good evening.
Hi, ma'am. Magandang gabi po.
Okay, so, naku pala, sorry, naipasok ko na, wala pa yung ano natin, adlib intro ha. So,
okay
na-overexcite
lang.
ako eh. Sige, sige,
I
babasahin na
think
lang ni Monique, syempre.
I think
Hindi
to
pala, yeah, ikaw muna.
so that we
Confused ako
won't
eh.
read over it and our guest is already here. I just want to
Yes,
connect it
yes.
to him. So it's a fact of life that many of us we have to deal with the loss of a loved one. There are many uplifting and beautiful experiences in life, but unfortunately, one of them is loss. And losing a loved one can trigger some very intense emotions in all of us, especially losing a parent. We can suffer from grief, and sometimes that grief can lead to depression, actual clinical depression. And I just wanted to make a distinction between the two, because while one can lead to the other, hopefully we can all treat and find ways to not be clinically diagnosed with depression. So, a few differences between the grief and the depression is if you are grieving, your symptom duration may fluctuate or it comes in waves. Whereas if it's depression, it may feel like you are just with an underlying sadness all the time or almost all the time. And then the ability to accept support. If you are grieving, you may not want to be around a big social circle, or you may not want to attend all social gatherings, but most likely you are open to accepting support from loved ones and those that you trust. Whereas if you are suffering from depression, you might want to isolate and detach from everyone. And then the ability to function. If you are grieving, it might help you sometimes to be busy and get distracted with work or school. There may be times though na you would have to take a step back. But if you are going through depression, it may affect your ability to even get out of bed and do your regular routine and tasks. And then, not to make it more confusing, but there is also something called complicated grief, which is also very similar to depression. But a way that you can look at complicated grief is grief, but it is on a longer lasting level. And symptoms may include trouble thinking about anything other than your loved one's death, lasting longing for your deceased loved one, difficulty accepting your loved one being gone, long lasting bitterness over the loss, questioning the meaning of your life, and difficulty remembering positive memories of your loved one. and sometimes grieving gets worse instead of better. So I think the importance of explaining all of this is so that the ultimate goal is to not end up with depression. But if that is
Right.
something that you are able to identify in yourself, it's best to treat it the right way, possibly with therapy or with medication, and just seeking a professional, etc. All right.
Galing, very, very comprehensive yun. So before we go head on to our Q&A, or before we ask our guest here, let me just tell you guys something medyo konti lang na about our special guest. He is a father, a husband, member of the pioneer hip hop group, SVC, Sun Valley Crew. Yeah, mamaya we'll be playing a music video of one of their parang medyo comeback videos. No? Pero maganda, it's very related din naman with our topic for tonight. And he's also the president and CEO of OFW Family Club, a non-profit, non-government organization, and also, syempre, a party list in the Congress. No? Okay, he's also the son of the late Ambassador and Congressman Roy V. Señeres Jr., who was widely known for saving Sara Balabagan from death by firing squad in the United Arab Emirates. From a young age of Roy Jr. along with his siblings were molded to further their father's advocacy to serve, siyempre, yung mga modern day heroes natin, overseas Filipino workers and their families. With 2 decades of solving thousands of OFW distress cases, including the highly publicized release of Joseph Urbistondo, the longest jailed OFW in history, he has unquestionably furthered his father's advocacy and legacy. Ayan, si Roy M. Señeres Jr., known sa kanyang family as RJ, and syempre sa hip-hop world, no, sa pop world, sa pop culture, sa OPM, ILJ of SVC. Hello.
Thank
Ayan,
you.
formally, hinabol, nandito na sa loob. Eh.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you again, Monique and DJ Raymond, for the very warm and warm intro, touching intro. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. Ayan, bago maging very busy ulit, si Sir Roy. Yun, si Monique, ladies first, syempre. That is the custom here. Diba? The
All
lady
right.
gets to shoot the first question.
So while we talk about this, bilang husband and wife, we're gonna talk about it as if I'm not your wife right now. All right. So having lived a predominantly public life, whether as ILJ of SVC or as figurehead of the OFW Family Club and Party List, people feel as though they know you. What is something people may not know about you?
Um, well, yeah, thank you for the question. Well, we've gotten to uh, get into we got into motorcycles, riding motorcycles.
Mm, wow.
So that's something that some folks may not know yet. Uh, I ano ba ba? I I'm a big I'm a sucker for peanut brittle sa Baguio.
Wow. So you ride all the way to Baguio just to, to have your fix.
Yeah. And siguro, ano ba ba?
Wow.
Once upon a time when I was a kid, I never really saw myself into music or here sa advocacy. I always wanted to become like an athlete of some sort, maybe some martial arts
Wow.
or basketball. So yeah, I mean, I think those are the random things that folks may not know. Well, now they do.
Yeah, sports syempre.
Yeah.
most people would think of a hip hop artist not so much into, well, basketball is somewhat related, pero riding bikes, di ba? Tsaka martial arts, medyo something that's really not typical for a rap
Yeah.
artist. Pero I would like to go back to to your relationship with your father, kasi this was our main topic for tonight, no? And your father is a very, popular figure and has helped so many. Like naalala ko, di ba, si Sarah was our guest here, and that's where I found out again all the details when I researched on that. No, before prior to her guesting here, I guested her before the last year during the pandemic. Pero the latest one here on Forward was talaga mas detailed. So can you describe your relationship with your father? Kasi by the way, how many are you in the family? Pala.
Ano kami, we are six, anim kami magkakapatid. I am the third
Mhm.
eldest.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
we're
mhm. I'll just zoom you in, parang mas maganda.
yeah, yeah.
Ayan. Ayan.
And in terms of my relationship with my father, I would say na most of the time he was a disciplinarian more often than not.
Okay.
He
Mhm.
had I remembered he had very high expectations sa kanyang mga anak, sa aming magkakapatid, in terms of how we are supposed to conduct ourselves. He expected us to remain to always be vigilant and always
Mhm.
have a high degree of um, diligence sa mga ginagawa. Kasi parang ano naman, parang he always expected a lot from us, kami
Mhm.
magkakapatid. But on the other side, he really, he has a very soft heart. He he has his own connection sa amin. Meron siyang unique na lambing bawat
Mhm.
sa amin magkakapatid na this is just uniquely ours. And because of that, we found refuge and comfort. And I would say we felt a lot of nurturing coming from him, notwithstanding the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, more often than not, he was more of a disciplinarian. So it was that type of it was that type of dynamic, and all the more we were drawn to him because of those a mixture of those na
Mhm.
through his uh, being a disciplinarian. I think that was a strong and evident display of leadership on sa upbringing
Mhm.
aspect, and the nurturing aspect naman is just he really made us feel that he's human and he's very caring. So a mixture of those things really I think it was a very unique and special relationship. Kaya those are the main things bakit we are so close to him and we really leaned on him
Yeah.
for guidance and strength.
Yes, and to think he was a public figure, very busy man, di ba?
Yeah.
Can I share a picture here? Ayan, no?
Yes. This
So
picture was
who are you here? The one that's
uh,
a bit dun sa the far end of the picture.
yeah,
Yun ba yan? Yung naka,
that young boy and the far right, I
yeah.
think with the red jacket pretending to be a Spider-Man of some sort. This
Oh.
picture was, and then the guy in the middle is my is our youngest brother, si Chris, and of
Oh,
course
okay.
that handsome fellow is my dad. And this picture was taken sa
Yes.
Abu Dhabi in the mid
Oh, okay.
80s.
Okay.
Kasi my dad
Oh,
worked
right.
as a
Mm-hmm.
labor attaché, or simply put,
Yes.
OFW din yung daddy ko. And ito yung
Mm-hmm.
picture sa Abu Dhabi. Kasi he would
Mm,
often
wow.
take us out Diyan sa ang tawag namin dito Bato-Bato Beach because
Bato ba?
makikita mo diyan na ano 'yan, sorry. Makikita mo diyan na ano, na ang daming mga bato diyan to
Yes,
parang
yes.
to divide a portion of the shore, but
Mhm.
may portion diyan na white sand na masarap mag-swimming. So favorite ano 'yan ng
Okay.
daddy ko, favorite place niya 'yan to decompress and to escape
Wow.
from the toxicity of his job as labor attaché. And he would often
Mhm.
go snorkeling with my
Mm.
eldest brother kasi yung brother ko si Kuya Tam medyo ano na
Ah, okay.
medyo mature na siya kaya pwede na siya
Uh-huh.
sumisid at samahan yung daddy ko sa
Sama. Yeah.
malalalim.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Okay.
basically
I was thinking you were the eldest kasi ikaw ang junior eh. Ikaw si RJ. You're the junior, di ba?
oo nga. Yun nga rin. Yun
And
din yung bagay na nagtataka ako. But we're here now and I am proud to carry his name
yes, yes, of
and
course.
carrying the advocacy.
Well, I'm sure he's also proud, wherever in the afterlife. I'm sure he's proud also seeing you do all of these things. Tsaka considering your achievements, di ba? Saying hi din kay Murphy and kay Byron. Hello sa inyo. Mamaya na yung mga comments may flash kasi we have a lot of questions prepared for Roy. So the next question would be from si Monique
All
naman.
right.
Let's give her a chance.
So, out of your dad's lessons or the wisdom that he imparted in you, what are your favorite words of wisdom that came from him?
Uh, I think a standout would be yung pinaka motto or pinaka kung slogan ba yung tawag diyan ng OFW Family Club Organization.
Uh-huh.
Tsaka yung life ano niya message talaga ng sorry ng ni daddy at the time yung the purpose of life is to empathize,
Mm.
sympathize and to help. That quote, the purpose of life is to empathize, sympathize and to help. To be honest, it was just only I was actually sharing my thoughts with Monique. Na it was only just the past couple of years when I fully grasped and had
Mm.
a clear understanding dun sa message kasi it's very easy to understand yung purpose of life, but when you think about it deeper in a more comprehensive manner, it's like there's like a matrix to it when you say
Uh-huh.
the purpose of life is to yung stage ng empathy, and then how do you
Mm.
correlate that with sympathy, and then what is ano yung contents ng help. But it's actually a deeper for me, lalo na when he passed away, and then there were certain decisions that I had to make, big decisions actually, whether work related or otherwise, na uh, I look blank, or I'm not, I don't know how to decide on those things, kasi I usually was accustomed to look going to him for guidance and for
Yeah.
confirmation sa mga bagay.
Yeah.
But when I remember yung saying that the purpose of life is to empathize, sympathize, and to help, it's more like one of the angles there is seeing and forecasting, I would say, yung kung ano yung kalagayan ng kapwa mo, at ano yung hugot niya, ano yung pinagdadaanan niya, so that you can have a clearer grasp kung ano yung magandang approach mo, o kung paano, how can you conduct yourself as a response, or how to reply to the person. And then from there, pag pag nag, kun- pag nagkaunawaan na yung the parties at that moment, then for some reason, there is some sort of solution that presents itself. Kaya I've always kind of applied that in everything, whether it's work, whether it's family, and other matters. Na the ability to see from the point of view or from the perspective of of the next man, before yourself, putting them first before yourself. Kaya yun yung one of the things
Oh,
na nakita ko sa daddy ko na yung pala ibig sabihin nun. Kasi hindi ko
Mhm.
talaga naintindihan yan. I took it literally
yeah.
kasi maganda pakinggan eh. The purpose of
Yeah.
life is to empathize,
Tama.
sympathize, and to help. Ang ganda pakinggan. Pero yung kung paano i-apply yan, it's a whole, there's a whole science behind it. Kaya yan yung nakita ko
Yeah.
na,
Yeah.
okay, ganun pala. So I big up my father for that wisdom actually.
He actually showed you the way. He exampled it to you.
Oh,
Mhm.
tama, correct.
You saw him apply it in his life, especially as a labor attaché. It was tough in UAE kasi especially those times na in the 80s parang 'di ba yung I have friends mga kababata who went to Saudi and yeah, Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, and they say that when you commit something wrong there, even if the local is wrong, but you'll be blamed kasi if you did come here, this would not have happened. So parang yan yung mga stories that I've been hearing from them. So
Oh,
I'm
that's correct.
sure
Oh,
a very tough job for your dad, no?
very
Especially,
tough.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I just want to share my thoughts regarding that.
yes, yes,
Kasi as a diplomat, specifically during his tenure as labor attaché, most diplomats sa foreign service kasi they are expected to exercise their duties
yeah,
in accordance with within the confines of the rules or policies on diplomatic affairs as their
that's right.
training. So very
Mm-hmm.
textbook kumbaga. But because of the circumstances diyan sa trabaho ng dad ko na medyo hindi balanse yung kapangyarihan na nabibigay sa isang employer, and sadly lalo na kung abusado 'yan vis-a-vis sa ating kababayan na maliit lang yung kanyang boses
Yeah.
pagdating sa paglaban ng karapatan. Kaya bilang tagapaglingkod, my dad, we really witnessed how my dad did not really more often than not go by the book in the diplomatic affairs. He was pretty unorthodox in his
Okay.
approach in how to address things. He would usually just be very practical, very logical in his attempt or task to resolve matters.
Yeah.
And more often than not, he just tries to just soften the emotion of the employer or the worker. Kung ano man ang
Yeah.
ano,
Yeah.
he was an
Oh.
excellent mediator.
Wow.
Kaya marami rin ako natutunan sa kanya. More on human relations siya rather than the application of the foreign laws, kung ano man yung mga
Yeah.
he pulls it out of the hat when needed, when warranted. Pero more often than not, he had a very unorthodox approach, and more often than not, he wins over the sentiments of the employers and the foreign
The
agencies
employer. Oh,
with
yeah.
the end view of expediting the repatriation of the worker.
That's
Kaya
right.
tsaka the manner how he talks to the police,
Yes.
syempre medyo dayuhan tayo doon kaya stricto
Correct.
sila.
Correct.
They really see to it na yung batas nila at sila na masusunod, kaya
Yep.
ang kalabasan niyan, ganun pa man, maliit ang boses ng ating manggagawa kumpara sa pag sila when they start flexing their muscle as to the rules and as to what ought
Yes.
to be
Right.
followed. That's why my father found cracks in the wallet. Minsan nadadaan niya yan sa lambing o nadadaan niya yan sa
Yes.
pag-uusap.
Yes.
Kaya
Yeah.
talaga
Wisdom. Yes.
he was really
Relations. Yes.
not a one of a kind diplomat. He wasn't your typical diplomat that's just within sticking within the confines of the textbook of the foreign service. Kaya yun din yung
That's
natutunan
good.
ko.
That's good to know.
Kaya I just wanted to react to what you said about his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really tough. And considering he was able to save, help Sarah Balabagan, di ba? Na avoid the death penalty. And sa'yo din, di ba, yung the one that you worked on, yung kay, ano, Urbistondo, no? Joseph
Yeah,
Urbistondo.
we give a lot of
So
credit to
talagang,
kay Joseph Urbistondo, we give a lot of credit to the DFA also sa ating pagkakalampag nahanapan natin ng paraan na maudyok ang ating mga partners
mhm,
diyan na mahanap yung next of kin, and the rest is
mhm,
uh, is history in terms of
I see.
having Joseph back here safe and sound.
Okay. So, let's go naman to, okay lang ba? This is, of course, it's very personal. We're talking about your dad, about you losing your dad, no? So, kasi yung, di ba, yung, he's still young, no? He was still young. Tapos, parang ano pa yun eh. Hindi pa yun talagang, we know that, kumbaga, we thought na hindi pa tapos yung kanyang, syempre, yung role sa mundo. And people need him, a lot of people. Ngayon nga, di ba, we need a lot. We are clamoring for a separate department for OFWs. Kasi talagang sobrang dami and they need a lot of help. No? And there are actually, totoo yun, there are modern day heroes. They have sacrificed family and everything. No? So yung, di ba, kasi yung dad mo became ill, no? Suddenly became ill siya, no? So ano yung naging parang uh, at one point in your father's health struggles, did you feel that you had to prepare yourself? Or kasi nga nakikita mo na eh, there's something might just
Um,
happen, di ba?
Correct. I think if I can recall, I think this is a pretty heavy feeling going back to that time. But I recall na there was a point at uh, St. Luke's Hospital. We were at St. Luke's, and then my sister, and I think my sister Hazel, myself, uh, Monique was there, and then I think my eldest brother. They were attending to my dad, and then wh- when when my dad parang called me, called me over dun sa hospital bed, and then all of a sudden I can see that he was really having a hard time really articulating his word, yung pronouncing his words rather.
Yeah.
And pero his message to me was pretty extreme kasi
Uh-huh.
he started to say he started to tell me things about selling this particular
Oh.
property,
Oh.
and he was entrusting to me some matters that
Mm-hmm.
that was pretty it was pretty extreme kasi it was a sudden shift
Yeah, sabi.
sa sa mga bagay na kasi
Yeah.
talking about selling this particular property, and
Mm.
then coming up with this yung mga some decisions that uh, on a normal flow of things would be a decision that is sa kanya, but he
Mm-hmm.
was instructing me to execute certain things that I found kind of heavy. And then when I was just quiet and I was just saying, sige po dad, okay, it will be done. And then when I stepped outside, it dawned on me na, why is my dad saying these
Yeah.
things? So yun yung parang the reality struck na I started to condition my mind for the worst, and
Yeah.
I just heavily cried in the hallway. Monique was there with me. I couldn't go back to the room, sa hospital room, and then I was just crying dun sa hallway, dun sa dulo sa may bintana para hindi ako makita. Pero I was really crying a river kasi it dawned on me na indeed baka reality struck that we are kind of pressed with time or so. So yun yung time na yun, I remember.
Sorry, we have to talk about this. So Monique,
It's
can
okay,
you?
it's okay.
Are you?
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, of course. I was there, and
Yes,
what
yes.
everyone on the outside saw when Dad eventually passed was that you were going to carry on his legacy, his advocacy.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
how difficult was it for you to have that pressure on you to continue right away in the middle
Mm-hmm.
of
Yeah.
mourning and grieving?
I, it was the most, admittedly and honestly, it was the most difficult time of my life because we weren't. When I say we, I'm speaking for and on behalf of my siblings as well and my
Mm-hmm.
mom, that we weren't really ready, and it was all sudden. Kaya like carrying on, moving forward, I actually just tried my best to keep my composure, but admittedly and honestly, I was at a loss. I was just basically following my instincts, but my heart was really heavy, and I direction wise, I just knew that I just had to pick myself up because it's very timely. My dad passed away just a little bit before the 2016 elections.
Yes.
Kaya I think on the positive side, I think that yung circumstances brought about by the elections, being that the party list OFW family had to prepare itself and make a run at the time. I think I would take that as a positive in terms of uh, contributing to the coping mechanism. Na it just
Mhm.
made me busy, and I just had to focus on being on my foot and just campaigning, going out there to try my best to campaign for the party list. Pero there were moments in the course of the campaign, and I think Monique was a full witness to that, when we would travel to different towns, yung mga ibang mga sa mga probinsya kung saan we were scheduled to visit our chapters and so on. There were moments during the long travels when I would just feel so empty, and I would still grieve, and I would still mourn, and I would still uh, break down and cry a lot. Tinatago ko lang yung aking pag-iyak kasi nahiya ako sa driver, tsaka sa yung mga ibang kasama ko na volunteer sa sasakyan. But it was pretty difficult. But I think ano it was just the most difficult moment in my life, and ano pa rin, I still feel it every so often actually.
Mhm.
And I believe that syempre you have to show yourself strong, no? Tell yourself that I have to be strong. I have to, no?
That's true. Pag may mga rallies
Kailangan
na
tumayo na ako. Yeah.
where pagsasalang na ako sa rallies kasi I have to do my job to campaign.
Yeah.
Yung platform ng OFW family, I have to deliver it wholeheartedly and sincerely para makalikom tayo ng suporta. So I just had it was a very difficult situation for me to really just mount the strength to execute
Mhm.
yung mga task ko at the time, and I would feel so exhausted after, because yung heaviness of grieving is the one that really controls me the most. Kaya pero I think yung experience na yon, looking back, yung ganyang experience is helped me uh, become strong, and I would like to
Mhm.
share that to other folks watching now who are probably feeling a similar situation of losing a loved one or a parent. Uh, you know, keeping yourself busy and just continuing your responsibilities while it is so difficult, but in hindsight, makakatulong din yun sa sa pagbigay sa ng lakas kasi kasi
Mhm.
yung ability to just take a deep breath and
Mhm.
show show composure is something na will help you actually physically and mentally. Kaya I think, but that's my advice, just to insert, try to keep yourself
Yes,
busy because
yes.
it's very difficult.
Mhm. So it was your ano, no, coping mechanism then, and also your sense of responsibility to carry
Uh,
on, no?
I think it was circumstantial that the campaign was very timely, which kept me on my toes. So I had very
Mhm.
little time to just soak or to be at one corner crying.
Mhm.
But I tell you honestly, and Monique was there. Pagdating sa gabi,
Mhm.
basang-basa ng luha yung punda ng unan ko.
Kasi at the same time, nagmi-mix yun, ano, yung feeling mo. Kasi he should have been the one standing up there, di ba? Di ba? And yung sudden death, yung talagang, that's where you miss him most. Pero that's where you also had to stand up and be strong, di ba? To stand up because that's what he's expecting you to do.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah, yun din yung in the back of my mind, yun yung nafi-feel ko rin kasi kinakausap ko siya kinakausap ko siya in my heart and in my thoughts. And then every time I'm confronted with some obstacles on the road, so to speak, I learned how to just reflect and think about what would my template or my default thing would always be. Ano ba gagawin ng daddy ko kung siya yung
Yeah.
magdidesisyon nito? Ano ba yung pagdidesisyon? Paano
Mm.
niya ba ito pagdidesisyonan? So that also helped me, especially yung fresh pa lang yung passing niya.
I think even now, it's probably with all of our loved ones, but we notice it so much with Dad Amba. He still has this way of sending messages. It's actually very striking, and we get so amazed every time. He has this way of making his presence felt or sending messages. And I think as recent as yesterday, RJ had an experience. If you want to share that.
Oh yeah, I think
Yes, sige.
I woke up this morning and I typed it sa aking Facebook post because when I was having coffee this morning, naalala ko yung point during that time na hinawakan ako ng abogado sa balikat at may yung pinipisil-pisil niya. That ginagawa kasi ng daddy ko. So the story was, uh, I went we Monique and I stepped out yesterday to have some documents notarized dyan sa labas.
Okay.
And then yung pagpunta ko rin sa notary, yung the lady by the window, yung sinabit niya rin sa lawyer sa loob para i-verify. Nakilala yung pangalan ko, tapos pinatawag ako sa loob. And then the lawyer there was very warm, very friendly. Tapos sabi niya nga niya nakilala niya si Daddy nung time na nasa labor siya sa NLRC kasi my dad served there as chairman at one point. And then sabi nga niya na very accommodating si Daddy. And sabi niya na humirit pa yung abogado Sabi niya, tsaka kasi yung iba kasing mga pupunta kami sa ibang mga gobyerno, parang ang hirap i-approach. Ngayon, dami niyang kwento. Pero daddy mo talagang pinakain pa kami. Ano yan? May sinabi pa siya na yung pandesal. May sinabi niya pa kung ano yung pinakain sa kanila So, sabi niya, good luck ha. He was so giving me praise and very warm. As a matter of fact, ayaw niya nang pabayarin yung notarial fee. And then, yung sabi ko, kasi naka-double park lang ako sa labas, si Monique nag-aantay sa kotse. So sabi ko, sige, attorney, sir, mauna na ako. Sige, tapos he even walked me out. Ito yung talagang nag-strike sa akin eh. When he walked me out, his office, para palabas na ron sa may kotse, he was walking with me, na nakahawak siya sa aking balikat, tapos parang ini-encourage ako, kaya mo yan, good luck ha. Punta ka lang dito sa akin kapag may mga tanong ka o may mga kung may mga kailangan ka na extra notes, tulungan kita. Tapos yung pinipisil niya yung balikat ko. And then I was like, everything was so fast kasi. So pagpasok ko sa kotse, sabi ko na, oy Bay, ang bait ng abogado, nakilala ko sila doon, no? Nakilala pala si Daddy, hindi nga ako pinabayad eh. So ito yung pera, binalik ko kay Monique. Pero na-realize ko kanina umaga, sabi ko, wait a minute, parang si Daddy yun na-feel ko parang si Daddy yung kumapit, sa akin sa likod. Kasi that's what my dad would do when he would talk to me, pag may mga, when we have our little talks na he's not in his disciplinarian mode. He's in his lambing mode.
Yes.
Ganyan yan eh. Kinakausap niya ako. Diba, I mentioned earlier, meron siyang unique na lambing bawat sa amin
that's right.
niya. So, ganyan yung sa akin eh. He has this thing where he walks with me na medyo like a very goofy animated walk na pinipisil-pisil niya yung likod ko. Tapos may lambing, parang binibaby niya ako. Just to make me feel okay about kung ano man yung situation at hand at the time.
Yes.
It gives me words of encouragement. So it really, I connected to my dad na feel ko yun. Kasi, he's been gone for a while. And, no one really like holds me in the back na ganyan. So it was I think it was.
And he's a stranger, di ba? And he is a stranger, di ba?
First time you meet. Now na a newfound friend, si attorney. Kaya kaya yun yung something na kind of amazed me na that my dad still has a way here and there even through complete strangers. Not anymore kasi kinaibigan na natin, pero even to folks that we don't know from the onset na nafe-feel ko yung presence ni Daddy. Na-realize ko lang kanina, kaya it's very...
Sarap nun oo,
it's
diba?
a good feeling actually.
And yung to hear people, total strangers, tsaka people, yung mga katulad him, he's a lawyer. Talagang ang ganda nung na-plant na seed ng dad mo sa kanya, just to give you return that favor to you, di ba? Libre ka pa, tapos, and that gesture, di ba? Talagang, wow, that's really something else.
Yeah.
Ang galing talaga niya. So, by the way, can we, kasi medyo ibahin natin ang konti mood. We'd like to, the people who are watching now, by the way, Madeline mamaya natin i-flash yung mga comments nyo and Bong and Bailon, thank you for watching. Your comments also, thank you kay Madeline. Play natin yung video mo from SVC.
Okay.
Kasi this song, I was actually this morning, I was trying to look for, sabi ko, what if we play one? So talagang hindi papayag na wala eh. Parang at the back of my mind. I was talking to myself, sabi ko. Then I browse sa YouTube. Sabi ko, ang ganda ng song. Tapos, hintay ko yung part mo. Tapos sabi ko, wow, RJ was talking about yung LJ, yung verse. You were talking about your dad. Kasi sabi ko, tamang-tama ito So, let's play this. Ang ganda nito eh. So, this is a comeback with parang For the Love talaga ito no? For the Love. No? SVC. But this is also available for the love of music and it was the crew. Pero this is also available on the digital platforms, right? Na-release yata ito, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's play this. Enjoy this, guys. And when we come back, syempre meron din na tayong mga words of encouragement, tsaka yung paano na navigate and na overcome. Until now, of course, we know it's a work in progress. No? Mamaya, don't go away, guys. We'll be back after this.
you, baby. I can't do that. Yeah, I stop loving you, baby. I can't do that, and I'll never stop loving you. Loving you.
Laid back is my mentality. I'm older now and so in love with my family. Love is real, from dirty deals to happy meals. Real is when you're living life without intentions concealed. See, this is for the moments when my life flashed. To get me where I be today is what I see it as. Never doubted that I found my way back. Owe it all to my son bouncing on my lap. You're the right on my back, and I'ma never stop. This evolution is blessed. I see better now that my perspective is fresh. Get it off my chest, no alibis, I still fly sky high. But these days I'll be all smiles without even trying. But before I cross the finish line, like to find a way back into my daughter's life and mine. So maybe I'd wake up one day and realize that life is good and I'm complete. I'm complete.
About a couple years ago, you see me throw in the towel. Boom, Betty, buy music. I had to divorce you so I can pursue another calling. What is it? Taga, pagtanggol ng ating bagong bayani. I saw my father break his back for 30 plus years serving him. Jail visits, court cases, he attended them. I love my old man to death, word. And it hurts me when I see him get banged up with stress. So sabi ko, ako na lang ang tatayo on his behalf. Alam mo ba yung feeling na as if you're cutting class? It's so fresh, homie. But I'm happy where I'm at. Now it made me miss you bad. Hip-hop, let's take me back to basics with my brother Slim, Ryan, Brown Child. It's the Salt Valley crew, still rapping Southside. Man, swear my dudes and I will have to knock your teeth in. Spit blood on the sling, the tribe is back in effect. Come on.
Time I looked in your eyes and felt the pain. It was something I couldn't handle. Those type that make one insane. Painted in your face was fear I've never seen before. Started with excitement, now I'm headed out the door. I can't bear to see you in a different state. I can't lie, man, I'm weak. Hope it's not too late to make up for all the times we lost words. Reaching out to me, selling love you can't afford. Now where do I begin and start accepting what you've been through? Questioning the moment I regret when I begin to remember what you said that day when I was hiding. I know that you saw me, but you acted like you're blinded. Now I promise that your greatness will reflect on how I live, fulfilling every promise and continue to believe the part of me still has a part of you, my brother. Now I'ma rock this thing for you forever.
Ang galing, galing, grabe,
Yes.
grabe. I'm so happy, talagang this is really talaga, it's God's talaga hand. Kasi I never thought that yung song na yun, tamang-tama kaya naman sabi ko, wow, this is gotta be the song talaga. Kaya sabi ko kanina before we started, sabi ko, can we play a song from
Pero
SBC?
DJ
Ang
Raymond,
galing.
DJ Raymond, gusto ko lang
Yes.
sabihin na mas pumayat na ako ngayon, kasi doon medyo
So, when was that? When was that pala? Kailan ba yun? 2 years ago ba yun? O
uh,
last year?
no, that was
Before pandemic?
2017
Ah,
thereabouts.
wow. You guys never grow old eh. Tagal na pala no? Parang no? Nung SVC. Oy, may mga comments dito Si Madeline sabi, ayan. Galing-galing naman po ni Sir
Ate
Roy.
Mads.
A
Meron nga pala
belated
siyang comment kanina. Pwede natin
uh,
balikan. Totoo po yun, sir. Lost my father at my very young age, 18. Considering I am the eldest, mahirap po. It made us
yeah.
strong talaga. Si Bong din
Si
meron sin siya
uh,
Ayan. Yes, those experience made you a more strong person. Yes, opo.
That's
Tapos meron pa
right.
ulit. Never, sabi yo man, never stop loving you, baby.
Yo, yo.
Some, yeah, si Merle din. Ano, Merle? Murphy. Okay. Somehow
Murphy.
magical, Murphy, that you are now the one standing in behalf of Amba. Sir Roy. Amazing. Yeah. Tsaka kita mo yung heart ni Sir Roy, RJ, kasi yung verse pa lang niya, talagang di ba? Sabi nga sa Bible from out of the mouth comes, from the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So yun, yung binigyan
Amen.
siya ng verse to write, yun ang sinulat niya about the OFWs. Talagang totally passionate about what you're doing. Jeffrey, hip hop forever. Yeah.
Sir Jeff,
Uh,
partner.
so
Thank you, thank you.
shout out muna kay Ate Mads, who celebrated her birthday. Si Ate Mads is actually
Mm,
our officer sa OFW
wow.
Family Club Cyprus chapter, and of course ang namumuno ngayon diyan ay si Kapamilya Murphy na naka-tune in ngayon.
Mm, thank you.
Ka-Murph, tsaka sa lahat ng bumubuo at tsaka mga kasamahan natin dyan sa Cyprus. Maraming salamat sa inyong pag-tune in. And of course,
Mm, thank
si
you.
Sir Jeffrey ng ang ating kaibigan at partners iFranchise. I think nakita ko lang, hindi ko na please forgive me. I wish to greet you, Jeffrey, Sir Jeffrey, belated happy birthday. Nakita ko lang yan recently.
Mm,
Hindi
wow.
ko na nasubaybayan kaya I want to greet you a happy birthday.
Alright, thank you. Nako, maganda. We're ending at, syempre, we're closing on a happy note. Kaya ang ganda, no?
Mhm.
So now, sir, kasi nga we talked about yung kanina, syempre, yung battle mo with depression, loneliness naman to, longing, di ba? Losing somebody you really love and look up to. I know it because I lost both my parents. Hindi naman sabay. But that was a long time ago. From time to time, I still remember them. Sometimes I dream about them. No? Hindi talaga mawawala
Mhm.
yung longing. Pero we move on because life goes on. So ngayon, we would love to hear words of wisdom from Sir Roy about this. I'm sure marami tayong mapupulot sa naging experience ni Sir Roy.
Well, yung topic ngayon is very important sa sa pagbigay sa akin ng lakas, and sa lahat ng mga nakikinig na may similar na pinagdaanan kung saan may nawala silang mga mahal sa buhay. I believe na ano on based on my experience, isa po sa mga bagay uh, na nakatulong talaga actually is something that was not even done on my part or initiated on my part. I just want to share na my daughter Kiana, my eldest, I believe meron siyang I think she's clairvoyant. Uh, Kaya one time when Monique and I were out attending to our work duties, si Kiana, my daughter, messaged me to tell me, she was hurrying to tell me na na pinaginipan niya si Daddy. and kinausap siya sa dream at pinaabot sa akin ni Daddy sa kanyang panaginip na in summary, ang message ni Daddy doon ay, anak, sabi niya, Kiana, pakisabi kay Daddy mo na I'm doing okay. At saka sabihin mo kay Daddy mo na kailangan niya mag-heal. Kasi pag lagi siyang down, tsaka lagi siyang depressed, hindi niya magagampanan o ma-accomplish pa yung mga ibang bagay na kailangan niyang gampanan. Parang very in some way ganun yung message na pinaabot sa akin ng daddy ko through Kiana's dream.
Wow.
And for some reason, kasi before learning that, na may gustong sabihin sa akin yung daddy ko, I was really very, to be honest, I was bordering on baka officially depressed na eh. Kumbaga parang nafe-feel ko na based on my understanding of depression, like what Monique explained earlier, the show, in-explain niya yung difference ng grieving tsaka sa depression and anxiety.
Yes.
I do honestly believe that based on the explanation of Monique earlier, that I was bordering on depression. And I was lucky enough in the nick of time, or it was an opportune time, na through the message of my because of the message of my dad through Kiana's dream, I was able to be reassured na he is, number one, he is okay. He's doing okay, that he's happy where he is now. Sabi niya,
with our creator, yes.
Tsaka sinasabi niya sa akin na it is time for me to heal. And just like an obedient son, I listened to my dad. Sabi ko, sige. Pero for some divine reason then, it's a divine reason I believe, na merong drastic shift na I felt lighter in the coming days. And just knowing na yung mahal natin sa buhay ay may pinaabot na mensahe, at yung mensahe na yon ay specifically pinararating sa atin or pinaalam sa atin na sila ay nasa mabuting lugar na o okay yung kanilang sitwasyon. Yan ang isang bagay na nakapag-assure sa akin o nagbigay sa akin ng lakas o natulungan ako mag-heal. Kaya sa ating mga listeners who are also coping and have gone through or experienced the same, I believe that through prayers, magdasal tayo na para i-request natin yung Panginoon na kako, Lord, ibigyan niyo ako ng senyales para ipaalam po sa akin ng aking mahal sa buhay, whether magulang yan o family member, na sila ay nasa mabuting kalagayan na. Pag napaalam sa akin yan, I believe sa lahat ng mga may na-experience na ganito, I do believe based on experience that it will help sa healing process. Because that's one thing. And then I also want to credit our your dear co-host, who happens to be my wife.
Yes.
Very, very, very important din na may nasasandalan kang mahal mo sa buhay na talagang na siya yung talagang sumasalo o talagang gumagabay sa iyo in the physical form and in the moral sense, giving you words to boost your morale. Kaya sa mga nakikinig doon na may ganitong experience din, ang isa din gusto kong sabihin na dikitan mo lang or sandalan mo lang yung mga mahal mo sa buhay, whether it be kapatid or yung magulang or asawa. In my case, very vital talaga yung role ni Monique. I really want to it kind of made me and Monique bond closer up to today. Kasi siya talaga yung pillar ko. And of course my siblings and my
family
my aunt.
talaga, no?
Kaya yun yung talaga yung two things talaga na advice ko sa mga nakikinig ngayon na kasi parang sikapin natin na huwag natin paabutin sa punto ng depression tulad nga na nabanggit ni Monique kanina. Sikapin natin na huwag doon, na doon tayo sa grieving, and then let's pray na para malaman natin o merong senyales na nasa mabuting kalagayan yung ating mahal sa buhay. I think that will really
Yes.
that will help because that helped me.
Yes. Wow,
Yun
galing.
lang.
Very well
Yun
said.
lang and
Sir, very ang ganda ng story. Kasi may
Oo.
kahalong supernatural, di ba? Iba talaga pag si God gumalaw, ano? May
Oo nga.
halo pa rin
Yeah.
talaga na yung assurance because God knows that that's what you need talaga para
I
ma-heal
thank
totally.
I thank my daughter and my kids, my son
Yeah.
Brandon, Kiana, dahil sila din, just like Monique, kahit tahimik lang sila, syempre, ako yung daddy, pero yung presence nila, yung their presence there to really make me feel na everything will be okay. Doon din ako kumuha ng lakas. So, ganun din yung advice ko.
Yes,
Sandalan
yes.
lang natin. Sandalan kasi andyan lang
Yes,
yung mga mahal natin sa
family.
buhay.
Exactly. Oo. Especially nowadays, di ba, there was a time yung ating mga newsfeed parang obituary, di ba? Dami na mamamatay.
Oo.
Napansin niyo ba
That's
'yon?
true. It's
Parang
true.
last month o past 2 months, di ba? Ano ba to?
Yeah.
Parang puro candle, yung mga profile, yung mga DP nila.
That's
Sabi ko,
true.
grabe
That's true.
talaga.
Kaya
Kaya,
sa mga nakikinig,
sabi ko nga, timely tong ating topic eh. Yeah.
hindi
Right.
kayo nag-iisa and
Yes, oo.
we really feel your pain and grievance sa mga nanonood ngayon. Basta malaman lang natin na okay siya or eventually maging okay yung mayroong magpaalam sa atin na
Yeah.
through our dreams or through something, then I think that will help. Kasi yun naman ang gusto natin eh. Ang gusto natin na
Correct.
kasi yung sa
To know,
physical form,
yeah.
yung physical form kasi, especially when your loved one is suffering a certain ailment or illness,
Correct.
syempre nafe-feel mo yung pain yung pain na pinagdadaanan
Yes,
nila.
that's right.
Kaya
Oo.
pag after they pass away, dala-dala mo yung picture na yan sa thoughts mo na yun yung last kasi na nakita
They
mo
suffered. Oh yes, yung
They're
images
Kaya
nila. Yeah.
it's really difficult sa'yo na to really move forward na yan yung nakatanim sa isipan mo. Kaya pag nalaman mo na hindi lang, yun yung physical form ko at the time, but right now I'm in nasa heaven and I'm
Yeah,
happy.
yeah.
I feel
Happy
I
na.
just want to assure you that I'm happy and I'm okay. And then kaya thank you din sa dad ko na
Yeah, oo nga, talagang
pinabot sa akin
pinabot
yan.
pa talaga eh, no?
Otherwise I would
He's a
really
very
be,
sweet,
I would-
loving dad
oo nga.
talaga, di ba?
Otherwise, si Monique will have her hands full kasi she's gonna be dealing with a husband who's clinically depressed or so.
Pero ang galing. God really works in mysterious ways and marvelous ways. Okay, so let's give way to some more comments ito as we wrap up and say goodbye. Thanks po. Naman, Sir Roy, Ma'am Monique, Sir DJ Raymond, I'm so proud and humbled to be part of this. And great job, RJ. I'm sure my brother Roy is so proud of you. Hi, Monique. Say, Ray. Sir Ray. Hello, sir. Uncle. Yeah.
Yeah, my uncle.
Madeline. Yeah.
Shout out
Thank
to
you sa inyo.
my
Yes, sir.
uncle
Ito si
Yeng.
Jeffrey. Yes,
Jeffrey.
yes, sir.
Shout out ko lang si Uncle Yeng is the younger brother of my dad.
Oh, wow. Okay, sir.
He is an architect based in New Jersey sa US and very close siya.
Wow.
Very close siya kay Daddy and si Uncle Yeng is actually parang para talaga silang mag-best friends and I'm happy that he's tuned in. Shout out Uncle Yeng, Auntie Arlene sa New
Thank
Jersey.
you for watching. Yes, sir.
Thank you for tuning in, Uncle Yang, all the way
Yes,
from
thank
New
you, sir.
Jersey.
Wow, galing. Stay safe, sir, ha? Okay, I think it's 10 in the morning there, no? Mga around 10 in the morning. Mga 12-hour difference yata. Yeah.
Right.
Cool, sir. Kay Jeffrey, sabi, congratulations, partners. Mabuhay ang OFW family. Salute sa inyo, Sir Roy M. Señeres Jr. and Ma'am Monique Jaramillo Señeres. God bless you always. Yan pa, at ito pa. Okay, may ano yan. I'm sure ano yung sticker
Thank you,
or something.
Sir Jeff.
Teka,
And,
sana punta yun. Tumalon kasi, sorry. Tumalon yung yung mga comments eh. Ayun, kasi nagsunod-sunod siguro dating. May purpose po si God sa lahat na nangyari sa buhay. Just continue po that purpose at alam po, nakikita nyo na yan. Ayan. Yes,
Thank
of
you, Ate
course.
Mads.
Amen.
Okay, amen daw sa
Amen.
story mo
Amen.
kanina. Yeah, ang ganda talaga, powerful. It's a powerful story
Si
actually. Okay, Red. Hello, Red. And still coping until now. Lost my mom in 2017. Depression, come and go. And yes, prayers do help. And friends, syempre, yung support group. Yeah. We don't have to stand alone or take it alone or face it alone. Yes, relate po ako dyan. Salamat sa advice from Bong. And
Chairman.
also, it's easier to be surrounded by people who love you during the healing process. Tama. Happy for you,
Yes.
Thank
Kong.
you.
Oh yes, future
Si
congressman natin. Yeah.
si Red
Lapit na
si
election.
Red de Guzman,
Yes.
shout
Yes,
out sa
sir.
iyo, si Ernest. He's a really dear to me and Monique kasi he's actually the brains behind sa mga bagay na kailangan gawin sa advokasya, and I'm glad that he stood in. And
Wow.
he is also an advocate,
Thank you.
and he is the voice of he's doing his best to really clamor the rights of solo parents. Kaya mabuhay ang Solo
Wow.
Parents,
Ang galing,
National
galing.
Council for Solo
Oo.
Parents, and
Wow.
you have a good advocate in the person of Ernest. Thank you, Ernest. Mabuhay ka.
Thank you, Kuya
Thank you,
Ernest.
Sir Red. Yep. Also, God is good and He will not leave us alone. Lagi may mga taong ibigay si God sa atin to be with us physically. Yes, thank you. Sir Roy, Mama Nick, just continue kung ano po ang nasimulan ninyo. We're here to support.
Thank you,
Yes,
Ate
more
Mads.
power sa inyo. Sa
Si
Señeres
Ate Mads.
family, sa
Oh,
OFW Family Club. Sir. Yan, si Ate
thank
Madge,
you.
si Madge yung nasa Cyprus ba? Cyprus, no?
Cyprus, oo. Kapamilya
Alright,
natin yan,
alright.
but sa totoo lang, ate na namin talaga yan, ate na namin kasi gumagabay din sa atin yan with the
Hmm.
good moral support tsaka words of wisdom. Thank you, Ate Mads.
Okay. So, ayun, thank you so much again, Sir Roy, LJ, SBC, to MC. Thank you, sir. Ha? And future
DJ Raymond,
congressman. Yan, pa-pray
DJ
natin
Raymond,
na
and of
makapasok kayo
course,
dyan.
my wife, who I will see next door after this. Thank you so much.
We're in the
Kaya nga,
same house,
nakita,
but
yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
ibang room
Thank
muna,
you.
para walang feedback. Yeah.
Thank you,
Well, actually,
Monique.
nakikita ko yung post ni Monique after the show. Di ba? After every forward episode, nakikita ko yung post niyan. Yung group yung dalawa, selfie yung dalawa. Yeah. Oh, meron
yes,
pa.
that
Last
has
comment ko
become
to
our
before we say goodbye. Yeah, tradition,
uh,
ano. Yeah. Ayan, thank you po, Sir Roy. Great sharing. Thank you po, Ma'am Monique. Mabuhay OFW family. Thank you po, DJ Raymond. God bless everyone.
thank you
Yes, God bless
po, Boss
us. Stay
Murphy.
safe. Thank
President
you, guys.
Murphy.
And keep the fire burning. Alam niyo naman,
Thank you.
matindi pinaglalaban ninyo eh. And 2 million ba? Mahigit, no? OFWs. Hmm? Okay,
10 million,
congrats.
actually.
Okay, 10, wow, 10 million pala yun. Okay, keep safe po ang lahat. Keep praying for the healing of the whole world sa pandemic. Kasi nasa ibang bansa, kaya
Yes.
relate. Hindi lang Pilipinas. Congratulations forward. Thank you, Sir Bong Husi. So, goodbye for now. God bless us all. See you again next
Yes.
week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Monique, Roy, thank you, Sir Roy, and Monique. God bless. Sa mga
God
kailangan
bless
sa
everyone.
mga ano pala ha, yes, yung sa mga may chance na magpabakuna, please do so. Pabakuna na kayo. Get vaxxed.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you everyone.